Hello everyone, welcome to my brand new channel. We're going to get stuck right into some Total War Warhammer 2 and we're going to be doing the Tomb Kings campaign. Now I've got to warn you, this is not unmodded Total War Warhammer. We've got about 52 mods running. You've got your standard victory conditions overhaul, you've got some added units, a bit more balancing, we've got some scripting mods, just to make the game a bit more interesting, a bit more fair. We want to make this really immersive. So I've decided we're going to start on the Eye of the Vortex campaign, simply because being the Tomb Kings, if we collect 5 books, we win, so it makes it a bit more of a shorter game than Mortal Empires campaign. And along with that, it's going to give us a bit more exposure because we have to go and find these books wherever they are. Now I'm going to choose Khemri, simply because I like him a lot. The growth and public order is very, very useful in the start of the game and mid-game, along with just having his leadership aura size. I mean, that extra 100% really, really makes a difference. So let's get started. Okay, so getting started right into this, you'll notice we got all these extra missions. This is coming from the Tomb Kings mods along with the victory conditions overhaul. It helps make the game a bit more immersive. You don't want to just conquer the books and do nothing else. It allows you to expand and gives you a bit more room. Do this, we'll give you some jars, do this, I'll give you some units, give you some slaves. Makes it a bit more immersive. So right off the bat, I normally like to just build up my army first thing. It just makes it a bit easier because we're going to go and attack the orcs next, and we've got to make sure we have anti-large defense. Now, skeleton spearmen, they're not the best thing by any chance. That's why they're just cannon fodder. So it's probably about 2 spearmen to every 1 orc unit. So it's going to be a bit of a slow start for us. Now, one of the other mods I got on here actually makes your home base or your capital start at a higher level. So you'll notice normally it starts at level 2. I've got it starting at level 4. Makes it a bit more immersive. Before we get stuck into some units, I want to have a talk to you about one mod that actually makes the game a lot more immersive, larger, gives you a bit more room to develop, and it is the capital starting conditions. So what it does, instead of just being starting at level 2, you actually you can choose where you want to start, level 4, level 3, how you want your horde conditions to start. And I found it makes it quite a lot better because you don't want to start at level 1, capture a settlement and everything's at level 1. You want your capital to stand out. So this does give you a bit of an unfair advantage, but it is balanced because the AI has the same thing. So you don't have to worry about thinking, this is cheating, we're just going to outperform him. It's very balanced in that effect. So I normally start with getting my gold mine, a couple of units heading off, and public order. Now the reason we go for public order is because these guys down here, we have the Brotherhood and we have the Knights of Caledor. They actually take away from corruption. So untainted is a good thing for us, and we do not want chaos or vampiric corruption. Now, vampiric corruption is very hard to get rid of once you have it. You've got to really sacrifice some building details, but we'll get more into that later on as we go along. So for now, I've got my units going, I've got some buildings. Let's go have a look at some research. First of all, with this team, every time you research something, it drops your research rate 30%. Sounds like a lot, but don't worry about it. 14 turns comes and goes very quickly, along with having buildings and other things that can actually improve your research rate. So I normally just start at the first dynasty, simply because it's more focused around Nehikara warriors, chariot units, more for your starting, and it's positioned that way for every dynasty. So the next dynasty goes for skeleton horsemen, it goes for royal archers. Same with the third dynasty. It goes for more scorpion units, sepulchral stalkers, So it really, you can start at the 6th dynasty and work your way backwards, but you do not get access to those bonuses until you get those units. So as I mentioned, the beginning is a little bit slow. We've just been getting some spearmen. I've just been skipping a few turns, so we're already on turn 4. Now you notice I already got my skeleton horsemen coming along and my chariot archers. It's not going to be enough to take on the soul planes as of yet. Believe me when I say we will just end up losing everyone to this battle. I've already got all my military buildings, and my last one is going to be open graves. Now I don't want to build my defensive buildings as of yet. You don't quite need it. So long as you have your main army at your base, you're sorted. So just keep turning away until you're ready to start doing something. And we're going to do that now. So we're already on turn 6. I finished all my units. I was going to get the last of my horsemen, or maybe even an archer, but I found, you'll never guess them, we've got the Sturgos trying to attack us. Now, they're not attacking us as of yet, they're just doing march stance. So if you do attack them, we have a very good effect against them. But they're probably going to go try and take over Zandri or the Salt Plains, and we don't want that. We're going to take over all of those. So I normally pick the team next door to us, so the Numas. So here we are at turn 6. Now you notice I've got 19 of 20 units. I was going to finish off my last horseman just over here, except we had the vampire counts come in and just walk all over us. Now I'm not a big fan of this. I do believe if you're trespassing, you're going to get punished. So we're going to declare war on them. Now our strength is 13, they are only 66, so we're going to have a very good odds of cleaning their clock for both empires. Now you can see, because they were marching, we have a very large balance of power against them. Now we can do some fight battles later when it's more interesting, but for now I'll just auto resolve, and you'll see, look, we practically didn't lose anyone. So we only lost 63 to their 1185. Now I normally pick slaves, but again I want canopic jars because we're going to unlock units as soon as possible. So let's have a look where our unit is. We can't attack the other mob just yet, so I'm going to send him down below. Now for the units, you'll notice my skill tree looks very different again. In the mods list I've put down, the actual skill tree has been adjusted so that you're not just pumping skills into something you're never going to use. It makes it a lot better. You know, skills, cooldowns, spells, mounts, all of that has been adjusted to make it worthwhile, so that when you have a level 30 warlord, you feel like you have a level 30 warlord. So I like to take route marching and start getting my spells going. Now this just gives you extra 10% movement range, which not going to make too much difference off the bat, except later on in the game it will. And for my other warlords, I like to make canopic jars. Just again, as I was mentioning, we want to unlock lots of units and followers, and they all take canopic jars. So for the moment, we're not getting a lot per turn, but later on, we're going to have so many canopic jars, we're not going to know what to do with ourselves. So I'm going to finish getting my horsemen while I can do nothing else, and all my buildings are sorted. So let's skip in a few more turns until something happens. We've had the raiding little bugger go back to his home base, which is expected because we've got a new vampire counts mob coming in, and they're at war with each other at the moment. So let's make it a bit interesting. Let's declare war against all the vampire counts. Now you'll notice their rank a bit higher, so the lower the number the better. So at 59 they're a little bit more powerful, and they're survivors. They will do absolutely anything and everything to make sure they live through the end game. Now, they are marching, so again, we have a very good bonus against them. And I'm just going to keep selecting canopic jars for quite a beginning. And we're just going to keep this going, keep the canopic jars flowing until we're at a good point, and then we're going to start getting some slaves. Now, it doesn't really matter which spells you select. If you're doing the battles yourself, you can select spells that help you out, you know, it makes your units a bit better. But for now, for myself, I like just to focus on a bit of auto resolve. And until we get to that point where it's going to get interesting, I'll video a couple of amazing, epic battles, and you will just see why the Tomb Kings are so OP. Now, after we cleaned the first guy's clock, we have this one right next door. Now you'll notice he's over here by the Black Pyramid. Now, these guys aren't going to attack each other, so he's just going to let him walk in. So I'm going to ambush and see if I can get him. Now, you'll still notice my buildings I haven't done too much, because again, the Tomb Kings, they don't get a lot of money. So you have to be very selective with what you're doing. So we're at turn number 9 already, and you'll notice we've got enough jars to unlock the flock of Dijaf, the carriers. Now, Dijaf, Diaf, however you want to pronounce it, this is our first awakened unit, and for now I'm not going to actually put them into my unit stack as of yet. We're going to first wait to clean these guys so I can get rid of some skeleton spearmen. Now let's go attack him. He's going to run straight off the bat because my unit stack is already more powerful. But we're not going to let him run away. We're going to go attack him. Now have a look at this. He was only missing 2 units. So he had 18, I had 20. And look at the actual balance of power. Now you'll notice my hero killed 200. Followed up by my chariots. I'm going to select canopic jars. Now you'll notice if we were going to select the Bind Souls, we could have a full army stack, but it's not really required. We have no more enemies that we're going to do battle with. So I'm just going to put them in my field and just put them in ambush mode. So, just in case this guy decides to come up top, look at this, he's in our range, and if he decides to try and take my capital, he's going to get a rude awakening. So, for my buildings, I've left them the same. I'm just still doing my upgrades. We can upgrade Cetra the Imperishable. Now, for some of you, you might want to put a skeletal steed on or other things. I don't really bother about it. I like to just keep going with my upgrades. For example, Armor of the Eternal Sovereign. Have a look at this. There's just take a moment to just let it sink in. Leadership aura size plus 35%. Extra 10 leadership. I mean, who doesn't want that? Along with that, have a look at this. Public order minus 4. More casualties. I mean, this is what it's all about, folks. So, one thing to note, when you select armors and things, normally they automatically equip, as you can see, but sometimes they don't. Then you just got to go in, select it, have a go. Now you'll notice already, Cetra the Imperishable, he's got a couple of things here from raiding. So the more we raid, the more income from local provinces as well we're going to get. And we've already got 1 stack of builder. So minus 3% cost for buildings and 3% extra income. So we're on to turn number 11. You'll notice my strength rank has gone down ever so slightly. Again, this is dependent against all existing factions. So that means there's 11 more factions that have more units, to put it simply, or more unique units, which will also make your rank. And reliability, don't worry about it. Whether it's low or very high, doesn't really matter. Now, I've had Numas, and we're going to do a trade agreement with them. Just, you know, any extra income is always great. And I've got a mission to sign a non-agreement pact with them. So, I don't think we're going to be able to do it. I've got 15 turns, gives me the jars, not too much money, but these guys, they don't like me so much. I mean, have a look at this. The likelihood is so low, they're just going to keep rejecting it the whole time. And early in the game, there's not a lot you can do to get this up. Or if there is, by all means send it to me in the comments. I'd love to know, but for now, you know, I just keep trying to have a look and see what I can do. So I'm going to take them out of ambush mode, and let's see. We can attack this mob which is currently raiding my enemy, or we can attack my enemy who is, looks like he's gonna get killed by the other vampire counts. This is not 2 units versus, you know, 11. It's not looking good for him. Now on my capital, I don't have any money, so I can't upgrade anything as of yet. I don't have any slaves for the added income, but again, this will come later. Remember, very early game. You don't have to worry too much about money right in the beginning. So I think just to punish the Tomb King rebels, I'm going to take him on and then send my boys back to Khemri. So you'll notice again, we flogged those 4 units like no one's business, but this time I'm going to take some slaves, because again, I might get attacked straight away. We just don't know. Now you can notice my hero is already level 5. I'm still waiting for some upgrades, but at the moment I'm just going through some spells. They really give you a good boost. Even in auto battle, it really gives you a very good boost. I can't keep saying this enough. You have to boost yourself in the beginning, otherwise they're going to walk all over you. Now for my Tomb Prince, I've got my canopic jars all the way, and I'm just going to take Conqueror. You know, it's not too important what this guy does as of yet, but I like to make him harder to kill, because eventually they may or may not die. We don't know. Just now they come with a stack of 20. I want him to kill as many units as possible. Now you might be thinking, hey, hang on a second, you haven't mentioned the elephant in the room. Have a look at this. What is this? Why can I upgrade my units? This is from another mod. Now the Skaven, I believe it is, had the ability for you to change or alter your units using scrap, I think the mechanic was called. And there's a whole heap of mods out there for any team to do the same thing. I mean, why not? You've got these units, why am I not allowed to change them? So the Tomb Kings, a lot of their stuff is focused on, you know, Petra's blessing, rites of Sekhmet. So the whole idea is to keep with the lore. So look at this, Disciple of the Hawk Legion. They're unbreakable, immune to psychology. They'll never waver, they'll never falter, but it takes a lot of canopic jars. You got to keep this in mind. Early in the game, you have to select it very carefully. Now they can give you really big bonuses as well. So have a look at this, the Equine Mummification. That's a fair bit. That's not to be sneezed at. But if we go to our, where's our chariots with the bowmen on them? Over here, you can actually research more bonus, better reload times, or even extra 50% ammunition. So you notice I only have 40 ammunition. After that they're going to go to melee. So the more ammunition, the more we keep them out of harm's way, the better for us. Now I'm just going to skip a turn here and show you this. This is another mod that actually makes turns go faster. So have a look at this. We're already at Hagreif. We just finished the pirates. All the clans are done. Now it only goes slow when someone's moving in your field of view. If it's not in your field of view, they don't move. It does it in the background. This is all for performance tweaks, because again, the last thing you need is for you to turn to take 20 minutes to get through it. You'll die of boredom. So there's quite a number of mods that really helps you out with that. We've just been raiding this guy for 2 turns, and you'll notice we have 2 little intruders sitting next to Kaedrin. Now I'm going to go find them and kill both stacks if we can get to them in time. But you'll notice there's a lot happening here. Look at this. You've got the other vampire accounts coming in for the Black Pyramid. They're absolutely going to get flogged. You know, if these guys attack my capital, I might be in a bit of trouble here, because I'm still only getting my garrison from my military buildings. So we'll see how this goes, but I think these guys are just going to walk past me. I've got my second legendary lord, and this guy is called Tomb of the Vulture Lord. His name is Amenemem Hetum. That's a bit of a alphabet soup if you can pronounce it. This guy, he suffers no attrition from high seas, storm damage, or low reefs, which is pretty good because we're going to send him on his merry way on a ship later. But he gets very good bonus with carrion units and raiding, and we're really going to use this because his carrion units are unbreakable. But have a look at one of the side effects: minus 300 relations with the pirates of Sartosa. So we're definitely not going to be friends with him. Now you can select a different hero if you want, but again, you know, just have a look at these. You know, you've got strong, you've got trustworthy. Look at that. We definitely want this guy. So I'm going to put him in Kaedrin. Now here is where I'm going to put my flock of Dejef, because we've got another hero. Look, I can put all my very nice stuff in here. We can get all our archers, because again, the Tomb Kings have got limit caps. So you have to expand, build more of the same building, which will allow you to get more units. So they don't cost anything, but they get you in the caps. So I might just leave it at 2 turns. We'll see what's happening in 2 turns. Because in 3 turns I'm getting my repository, which is going to give me access to trebuchets. Now that's not going to be our first siege unit. So we still have access to nothing else because we're poor. We're only making 1,000 a turn, and we've got 1,300 to spare. Now the 2 guys raiding me decided to move left to the Black Pyramid, and they're probably going to expand down this way. So I could take my odds and go take their home base, but we've got this guy right here. Could be problems for us. And we have the orcs amassing as well. So I might sit next to my capital, just in case he decides to attack it, and ambush him. We'll see if we can get this guy. Now again, having the mod that makes your turns go very quick, I could almost record these units, these videos, and just not even worry about editing. I mean, look at that, it was probably 20 seconds or less. So let's see what's going on here. This guy's decided to raid me. Well, it's not going to work out good for you, buddy. So let's get our hero. Oh, gained another level. And I might just put training, because again, we don't really have to worry about it for now. I'll take myself out of my stance, and let's go attack this guy. Yeah, that's right. You ran away, buddy. Tomb Kings are coming to get you. Now have a look at this. I already got a Cimmerian War Sphinx. Look at that weapon strength, 480. I mean, enough said. So you can only run away once, and after running away you suffer a penalty. So again, have a look at this. We flogged him. Absolutely destroyed him. Between our Sphinx and our hero, they took 500 already. And our skeleton chariots, 180, 176, 150. And your spearmen, of course, they only cannon fodder. They just there to get in the way. So I'm going to take the slaves and put my boys back into our capital, just so we can get the rest of it. Now let's have a look here. At rank 6 we got the Crown of Nerhikara, and this is going to unlock a quest line for us. And just have a look at that unique leadership aura size, bonus leadership, bonus armor, physical resistance. You've even got 12% base weapon damage. So that's really nice. I like that. And we can get another unique, the Scarab Brooch of Usurian. Sorry if I butchered that. This thing gives us unbreakable, gives us magic resistance and ward save. So we're definitely going to take that one. And I might as well get my horsey, or my skeletal steed. So let's have a look. You can see it does change it, so now our hero is on our very nice horse, which looks pretty good in my opinion. I went ahead and did a bit of turn skipping, keeping in mind we slowly expanded. We're currently on turn 40. Now you'll notice I've got my third hero, King Intef, great name as always. We've conquered the Springs of Eternal Life, we captured Bagar, we went all the way down, and you'll notice the High Elves actually took across this whole area. We still haven't went here, because keep in mind, we need more. Now what I mean by that is, my capital's still the same level, because we don't have a lot of growth, but at the same time I really put in the time and effort to get the Great Pyramid of Cetra. Reason being that Necrolith Colossus it's just a beast of a unit. So on my third hero, I've went ahead, I've got Prince Senefret in there, I've got Oftos the wizard, and we've got a whole heap of great units, including my first mortar. It took me a little while to get him in, but we got there. We got there. So this squad is going to absolutely go crazy. I've went ahead and taken over the west side, so the Pools of Despair, the Black Tower, the Black Pyramid, along with getting Cetra to level 13. Now you'll notice here again, keep in mind there's quite a number of mods, which is again in the list below. You'll find the link to them. Look at some of these things. Now you might not think they are some of the best things, but between the leadership, hero recruit ranks, and just some of the bonus skills, you know, you can't go wrong. Have a look at this. Public order, better recruit ranks, more units recruited, better capacity, better recruit rank, and then again more unit capacity. So I thank the mod owner for this. He really went out of his way to make sure some of the mods are more quality of life. You know, even some of the things, more canopic jars, better, lower miscast chance, you know, better charge bonus. Charge bonus, don't know, it's only 86. I mean, you get some teams where it's well in the hundreds, but again, yeah, every bit counts. I went ahead and skipped just a little bit more turns. We're on turn 70, and as you can see, we really started going places. You can see we've got crazy money. We're not even going to use all our money at all. I've taken over the whole western seaboard, or most of it, and surprisingly enough, we actually had the Skaven uprise. They started being nasty, taking my Pools of Despair, Panther, Beliad. They just went bonkers. So I'm in the middle of getting them roasted. I've got 4 heroes, and they're actually pimped out to the max. You can just have a look at the squad. It's ridiculous, all those heroes, and I've not even bothered upskilling them until I get closer to the battle. It's just crazy. I've got monster units. You know, they just going crazy here. And we've got full squads of Nehikara, along with where is that other guy? Oh, I forgot one of my little fellas. Okay, he'll just have to walk along. So we still have not progressed to level 5, but as you can see, it's not needed. I pretty much just walked in here with Cetra. And where is the boss man? The boss man is over here. Look at this skill list. It's full. I mean, we're just taking stuff for the sake of taking stuff at the moment. We're not even worried. We got this one which gives us more canopic jars and bigger leader size. We've just not needed to get anything else. Between our armor, between our weapons, our talisman, our crown, and our mount, which is a war sphinx, by the way, we've got all our heralds. It's just OP. And at this point, at around turn 70, you pretty much just keep going, walk down to the south, take this whole south over, get yourself some more books. We've got 3 books in this province we can get, and then we have to go across the sea. And it's at this point in time, you could have 5, 6 heroes if you're lucky. You just keep them in squads of 3, don't worry about anything coming to your home base. Go west, get the last 2 books, you win. Now thanks very much for watching. If you did enjoy this, give me a shout out in the comments. If you got any tips or tricks, this is my first video and I'll be doing a couple more of them, so bear with me, I'll be getting better as we go along. Thanks very much for watching.